You open Microsoft Word. Maybe you want to create a CV. Maybe you want to create a certificate. Or maybe a business notice. You want the document to look clear, professional, and easy to understand. So you decide to add a visual, maybe a picture, into Microsoft Word. At first, you expect the document to look better. But suddenly, the text moves, the picture jumps, the page starts looking crowded, and somehow, the document that was supposed to look professional now looks confusing. If that has ever happened to you, this video is for you. Because today, we are not just learning how to add visuals. We are learning how to control them, place them, and use them with purpose. To everyone who is watching from different parts of the world, thank you. Your learning journey matters here. My name is Athanas, and this is Athanas Inspires. By the end of this session, you'll be able to create a Microsoft Word document that does not only explain ideas with words, but also uses visuals to make ideas easier to understand, easier to remember, and more professional. Good documents do not only tell, they also show. Good documents do not only tell, they also show. Let's begin. Now, before we touch today's tools, let's quickly remember the journey. Because you are not starting from zero, you are building. In Microsoft Word Session 1, we started from the very beginning. We learned how to open Microsoft Word, understand the screen, type the words, use the keyboard and mouse, format text, save our work, reopen a document, and use undo feature when something goes wrong. That session was not just about pressing keys. It was about removing fear. It helped us say, I can use Microsoft Word. So, session 1 gave us confidence. Then in Microsoft Word session 2, we moved one step higher. We learned that a document is not just words on a page. A document is ideas arranged for someone else to read. So we used paragraphs, spacing, alignment, lists, headings, and clear structure to build a proper document from scratch. So session 2 helped us say, I can create a document that respects the reader. And now, this is where session 3 becomes very important. Because once your document has words, And once your ideas have structure, the next question is, can the reader see the message clearly? That's why you should stay with me in this session, because today we are going to add something powerful to your documents. Not decoration, not confusion, not too many things on the page. We are learning how to use visuals so your document can explain faster, guide the eyes, and look more professional. Session 1 gave your ideas a voice. Session 2 gave your ideas structure. Session 3 gives your document vision. And if this step-by-step way of learning is helping you, make sure you subscribe to Athanas Inspires, because every session is building you into a more confident computer user. Now, let's look at what we will learn today. Now, let's look at what we will learn today. As you look at this roadmap, you may feel that there's a lot ahead of us. And that is completely normal. Whenever we learn a new skill, the whole journey can seem bigger than it really is. But here is the good news. You do not need to master everything at once. You only need to take the next step, then the next one, and then the next. That is exactly how we will learn today. One step at a time, one idea at a time, one skill at a time. And every step has one purpose: to help your document communicate more clearly, more professionally, and more effectively. Now first, we will understand why visuals matter. Before we touch any tools, we must understand the reason behind them. Many people add visuals because they look attractive. But effective visuals do much more than that. They guide attention. They reduce confusion. They help readers understand the information faster. When you understand this principle, every tool you learn afterward will make more sense. Then, we will learn pictures. Pictures can explain ideas that may take many words to describe. They can create interest, provide context, and make information easier to remember. But we will also learn an important lesson. A picture should support the message, not distract from it. After that, we will learn wrap text. This is one of those skills that seem small but make a big difference. It helps pictures and words work together on the same page. And if you have ever struggled with words moving unexpectedly or ruining your layout, this section will save you a lot of frustration. Next, we will learn shapes and text boxes. These tools help us organize information visually. They help us highlight important points, draw attention to key messages, and guide readers through a document. Sometimes a simple shape can make an idea easier to notice than an entire paragraph. Then, we will look at WordArt. WordArt can make titles and short messages more engaging. But a good design is not about making everything flashy. It is about knowing when to emphasize something and when to keep it simple. The balance is what we will learn. After that, we will learn symbols and equations. Sometimes a single mathematical symbol can communicate an idea instantly. For example, symbols like square root, pi, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and so on, can express meaning much faster than words. We will also learn how to insert subscripts and superscripts, such as the ones in the chemical formulas of water and carbon dioxide. And also for those in special terms like x squared or meter cubed. These are commonly used in science, mathematics, and technical documents. And when needed, we will learn how to create mathematical equations from simple formulas to more structured expressions. These tools may seem small, but they can make your document more precise, more accurate, and more professional. And finally, we will bring everything together in one complete main project, Internet Safety Information Sheet. This is where learning becomes practical. This is where separate skills become one finished document. We will combine words, visuals, layout techniques, symbols, and a simple equation to communicate a useful message. And by the end, you will be able to see how each skill contributes to the final result, not as isolated tools, but as parts of one clear communication strategy. So if you are a student, a teacher, a church leader, a business person, or simply someone who wants to create better documents, stay with me. Every section in this lesson has been chosen for a reason, and every step moves you closer to creating a document that people can understand quickly and confidently. Remember the line on the screen. One step at a time, we will learn how to make documents speak clearly. Now, before we start pressing buttons, I want your eyes to experience the problem first. Now pause with me for a moment. Before we learn about pictures, shapes, or text boxes, I want your eyes to experience something first. Down here I have two Word documents open. The first document is this one, and let me arrange them side by side like this. And look at these two documents on the screen. On the left side, we have a proper document. It has a clear title, Benefits of Learning Computer Skills, a paragraph, Key Benefits, and a conclusion. There's nothing wrong with this document. It is clean, organized, and easy to read. It tells the message clearly. Now look at the document on the right. Now the message is almost the same. We are still talking about the benefits of learning computer skills, confidence, creativity, and opportunity. We can see the points on the left: confidence, creativity, and future opportunities. But this document on the right does something more. It does not only tell the message, it helps you see the message. Look at this picture. The person is moving upward. These steps show progress. Even before reading every word, your eyes already understand the direction of the message. That is the power of visuals. Notice the main idea box. It highlights the key message quickly. Now look at the key benefits section. Each benefit has its own visual space, making the information easier to follow. You see? Now let me ask you one important question. Which document makes the message easier to see? Which document, the one on the left or the one on the right, makes the message easier to see? Now please write your answer in the comment section. I would love to hear what you think. Now the left document tells the message, and the right document helps you see the message. And that is exactly why this session matters. This is not just a Microsoft Word skill. It is a communication skill. Whether you are creating a report at work, preparing a school assignment, designing a flyer for a church event, or sharing information with your community, good visuals help people understand the message faster. And today is not about decorating documents or filling pages with pictures. It's about using visuals wisely so readers understand faster, remember better, and stay engaged. And if this step-by-step way of learning is helping you, make sure you subscribe to Athanas Inspires, because here we are not just learning buttons. We are building real computer confidence. Now remember this line: good documents don't only tell, they also show. And now that we have seen the difference, let's go deeper and understand why visuals matter. Alright, now that you have seen the difference, let's understand why visuals matter. Visuals are not just for beauty, they help the reader. Visuals help readers understand faster. Sometimes one picture, one shape, or one clear text box can explain an idea more quickly than many sentences. Second, Visuals help readers remember better. When the reader sees an idea, the message stays longer in the mind. Third, visuals help readers follow ideas more easily. They guide the eyes and show the reader where to look next. But listen carefully. A visual is useful only when it helps understanding. If it distracts, it should not be there. So remember this line down here. Every visual must earn its space. Before adding any visual, ask yourself 3 questions. Purpose. Why am I adding this visual? Placement. Where should it go? Professionalism. Does it help the document or does it distract? Now that is triple P. Purpose, placement, professionalism. If you remember this, your documents will not just look better, they will communicate better. And if this lesson can help someone you know, please like this video and share it with a friend or a family member who may need to learn Microsoft Word step by step. And now that we understand why visuals matter, let's begin with one of the most common visuals in Word: pictures. And now that we understand why visuals matter, let's look at one of the most common visuals used in Microsoft Word: pictures. Many people add pictures to reports, certificates, church programs, assignments, and business documents. That's good, but remember our rule. A picture should explain something, not simply occupy space. Now let's see how pictures work in Word. Now I already have a document called the Internet Safety Information Sheet down here. This one. The document has this heading, Internet Safety Information Sheet, and it contains a section called Protect Your Password. Now the text here says, a strong password helps keep your information safe. Now this is the perfect place for a picture. A lock, a password box, or a security image helps the reader understand the message faster. So we are adding a picture with purpose, not just decoration. Now to add a picture that supports this paragraph, first I click where I want the picture to appear. I want the picture to appear here. So I click here. Then I go to the Insert tab, this one up here. Then I click on Picture, then this device. Click. And here let me locate where my image is. My image is in this folder. Now here is my image. So I click on it, and then down here I click on Insert. Click. And the picture is now in the document. Now, if the picture appears too large, like this one here, you don't have to worry. It simply needs resizing. Now, let's look at the picture. It shows a laptop, a password field, a lock, and a shield. Now, this matches the topic, protect your password. You see? Now, this picture and the text supports the message. Are you following me here? That's what makes a picture useful. Remember, a picture should explain something, not simply occupy space. Now, our picture is too big. Let's resize it. Now, to resize it, I click on the picture. After clicking, small edges appear around the edges. You see these handles? Now, to resize it, drag a corner handle to make it larger or smaller. You just drag the corner handle to make the image smaller or larger, like that. You see, these corner handles work. Remember to use the corner handles, not the side handles, these ones. Dragging from the side can stretch or squeeze the image. You see, if you drag from the side, it squeezes the image or it stretches the image. You see, it distorts the image completely. A professional document uses pictures that look balanced and realistic. So let me resize it, be a little bit smaller, like that. Yeah. Now let's crop the image. Cropping removes parts of the image that are not needed. Cropping removes parts of the image that are not needed. So to crop this image, I click on the image again. Then I go on picture format up here and then select crop, this one here. Click. And then I drag the corner handles around the picture to remove any extra space. So I drag the corner handles like this. And this is the part of the image that I want. You see how to crop the image? Now, after dragging the corner handles, I click anywhere outside the image like that, and the crop is complete. Cropping helps the reader focus on what matters most. Here, ask yourself, what does the reader needs to see? And what can I remove? Right now, our document is like this. You see? Now, if I decide the picture is not helping, I can remove it. Now, to remove the picture, I click the picture and press the delete key on my keyboard. Let me press, and the picture is gone. You see? If I change my mind, I can use undo to bring it back. I can press Ctrl Z on my keyboard to undo and bring it back like that. Now, pictures can also come from online sources. Now, let me delete this image. Now, to insert a picture from online, I click on Insert tab again, then Picture, then Online Pictures. Click. For example, here I can search for password security. Now, Word displays several options here. You see? Now, here choose carefully. Ask yourself, does this picture support my message? Will it help the reader understand? Now let me pick this one right here and click Insert. And the picture is there. You see? Whether the picture comes from your computer or online, the principle is the same. Choose with purpose. Now, what you are learning here is more than inserting pictures. You are learning how to create documents that communicate clearly. These skills can help you create better reports, certificates, teaching materials, church programs, or business documents. Pictures matter because they help make ideas visible. And that is what makes a document more effective. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and insert a picture into any Word document. After that, resize it using a corner handle. Crop a small unnecessary area, then delete it and restore it using undo. Take your time. Every step builds confidence. Now, in this section, you learned how to insert pictures, resize them, maintain proportions, crop unnecessary parts, delete and restore pictures, and find pictures online. But remember the most important lesson. A picture should explain something, not simply occupy space. Before adding any picture, ask yourself, why am I adding this? What idea does it support? Will it help the reader understand better? And if this lesson is helping you, subscribe to Athanas Inspires. And let me know in the comments which country you are watching from. Now we know how to insert and control pictures. But how do we make pictures and text work together properly? How do we make pictures and text work together properly? That brings us to the next skill, wrap text. Alright, now we know how to insert, resize, crop, and delete a picture in Microsoft Word. But there's still one important problem. Sometimes, after inserting a picture, the text moves strangely. The picture refuses to sit where you want. You drag it, but it behaves like it has its own plan. Now, if that has ever happened to you, don't panic. You are not doing badly. You simply need to learn how to guide the picture. Now, this is where wrap text becomes very important. Now, wrap text controls how text behaves around a picture. Wrap text controls how text behaves around a picture. Now, in simple words, wrap text teaches the picture and the words how to live together on the page. And this is one of the skills that can change how your whole document behaves. So watch this part carefully. And this matters because in real life, you will create documents where pictures and text must work together. A report with a picture, a school assignment with an illustration, a business notice with a product image, a church program with a logo, a certificate with a background, a teaching material with examples. In all those documents, picture placement matters. Now remember this line. Where you place a picture is often more important than the picture itself. So let's go practical. Here is the same document we used in the previous section. And for this demonstration, I'm starting with a clean document again. The picture is not inserted yet. Now this is intentional. I want you to see what normally happens from the beginning. So I click where I want the picture to appear, down here. Then I go to Insert, then a picture, this device, and I locate where my picture is. My picture is this one. I select it and then click on Insert. Now the picture is inside the document. At first, it may not sit exactly where I want. It may push the text. It may look too big. It may feel difficult to move sometimes. You see? It may feel difficult to move. Now, nothing here is wrong. This is the moment where many beginners think Microsoft Word is confusing. But Word is not trying to confuse you. It is simply waiting for you to choose how the picture should relate to the text. Now that choice is called wrap text. Now before we go deeper, let me crop the image a little bit. I select the image, go to picture format, then I click crop. Let me crop it. Like that. Also, let me resize it a little bit. Yeah, like that. Now watch careful. When I click the picture, Microsoft Word shows a special tab at the top. This tab is called Picture Format. Can you spot it up here? Now this is very important. When you click a picture, Word gives you picture tools. So I click on Picture Format. Now I look for wrap text. This one here. Now this is where we control how the picture and the text work together. Now let's look at the options one by one. Now let me click on it. First, we have inline with text. You see, this option makes the picture behave like text. It is like the picture becomes a very big word inside the paragraph. Let me select this option and see how the picture behaves. You see, when I drag it in front of the letter helps here and release it, you can see it stays in front of the word itself. You see, the image behaves like it's a big letter inside the paragraph. And this is why sometimes the image becomes hard to move. It is tied to the text line. You see? Remember, inline with text keeps the picture tied to the sentence. Now let's go back to wrap text options and let's try square. Now let me choose square. Now watch what happens. Now the text can move around the picture. You see? The text can move around the picture. Can you see? The text can move around the picture in a clean, box-like way. You see? Now the picture is no longer behaving like one big letter. It can sit beside the text more professionally. Now this is why square is one of the most useful wrap text options. Square help the picture and the text work together without fighting. Can you see? Now for this document, square is probably the best choice. But before we decide, let's quickly look at the other options too. Now let's try another option called tight. This one here. Let me select it. Now tight allows the text to come closer to the shape of the image. Tight allows text to come closer to the shape of the image. Sometimes, if a picture has a clear shape or transparent areas, tight can make the text follow the picture more closely. It can look nice, but beginners should use it carefully. If it makes the text too crowded, then it is not helping. Remember, tight brings the text closer, but closer is not always better. Now we have another option, through. Let me select it. Now through is similar to tight, but in some images, it allows text to pass through open spaces inside or around the picture shape. We will not go deeper into this today. For now, just know it exists. Now let's choose top and bottom. Now notice what happens. The text does not appear beside the picture. Instead, the text stays above and below it. You see? This gives the picture its own space. You see? This gives the picture its own space. Top and bottom. Now, top and bottom is useful when the picture is important and you want the reader to focus on it clearly. For example, if you are showing a diagram or a large photo or an important illustration, top and bottom can work very well. Now here's memory line. Top and bottom lets the picture breathe. But in this document, I want the picture to support the paragraph without taking too much space. So we may not use this as the final choice. Now let's try behind text. Behind text. Now here the picture goes behind the words. You see? This can be useful for background effects, watermarks, certificate designs, or special document designs. Are you following me? But be careful. If the picture is too strong, the words become hard to read. You see? And if the reader cannot read your words, the document is not communicating well. So behind text is powerful, but it must be used with wisdom. Now here is the memory line. Behind text is for background, not for fighting the words. Now let's try in front of text. In front of text. Now this option places the picture on top of the text. You see? It gives the picture a lot of freedom. You can move it around more easily. You see? But it can also cover your words. So this option is useful when designing posters, flyers, certificates, or when you need temporary free movement. But for normal reading documents, you must use it carefully. Now memory line. In front of text gives freedom, but freedom needs discipline. It gives you freedom, but freedom needs discipline. If the picture covers important words, now the reader becomes confused. And remember, our goal is not confusion. Our goal is clarity. Now we have seen the main wrap text options. Let's make professional decision. This document is an information sheet. It has text explaining internet safety. The picture is supporting the message, not replacing the message. So for this document, I will choose square. Now I move the picture carefully to the side of the protect your password section, like this. You see? Now look at the document. The text is still readable and the picture is still visible. The page looks professional. You see? Now this is what we want. Not a picture fighting the words, not words hiding behind a picture, but the picture and text working together. Now this is the purpose of wrap text. Now pause with me for a moment. This small skill can change many documents in your daily life. Maybe tomorrow, you will prepare a school report. Maybe you will help someone make a CV. Or maybe you will create a church announcement. Maybe you will prepare a business notice. Maybe you will design a simple teaching material. In those moments, you will not just ask, how do I insert a picture? You will also ask a better question, how should the picture sit with the text? Are you following me? That question is professional thinking. And this is why you should keep watching this session. Because soon, we are going to build a complete document from scratch. We will combine pictures, wrap text, shapes, text boxes, WordArt, symbols, and even a simple equation to create one clear visual document. So every skill we are learning now is preparing you for that project. Step by step, your document will stop looking ordinary and start communicating clearly. You are not just learning Microsoft Word. You are learning how to present ideas in a way people can understand. And that is a real skill. And the skill can help you at school, at work, in business, in ministry, and in everyday communication. Now, let me ask you a question. Which wrap text option do you think is the most useful? Which wrap text option do you think is most useful? Now write your answer in the comment section. I would love to know what you think. Now, if this calm way of learning Microsoft Word is helping you, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Athanas Inspires, because the next visual tools will build on what we are learning now. And now that pictures and text can work together, we are ready for the next visual tools, shapes, and text boxes. And now that we know how to make pictures and text work together, we are ready for two more visual tools in Microsoft Word, shapes and text boxes. Sometimes a document contains important information, but the reader may not notice the most important part. But the warning, question, or key idea does not stand out. Now that is where shapes and text boxes help us. They guide the reader's eyes. A text box can highlight an important question. A shape can highlight a warning. An arrow can show direction. So remember, shapes and text boxes help ideas become visible. Now let's see this in our Internet Safety Information Sheet. This is the same document we have been working on. We already have a title, the introduction, and the section called Protect Your Password. After this point, Protect Your Password, we add another point, Think Before You Click. Many online problems begin with one careless click. A suspicious link, a fake price message, or harmful website can all look convincing. So this is an important lesson for everyday life. Now I click below the password section. Then I type the heading, think before you click. And I format like other headings. Let me select heading 1. And I can see font size for headings is 16. So I select my heading and increase the font size from 14 to 16. Now I press enter for the paragraph. Now to save time, I will copy the paragraph from another Word document and paste it here. Our paragraph is in this document. Let me select all texts and then copy. And then I will paste the paragraph here, like that. Now the paragraph explains the idea well. But I want 2 important messages to stand out. A question and a warning. I want 2 important messages to stand out here. A question and a warning. So let's start with the question. I go to Insert tab up here. Then I click on Text box. This one here. Click. And I choose Simple Text Box. Like that. I can move it here. And inside this text box I type, can I trust this link? Now a text box gives important text its own visual space. Instead of hiding inside the paragraph, the question becomes visible. Now I click on the text box and go to Shape Format. And in Shape Fill, I choose a light blue color, like that. And in Shape Outline, I choose blue. Now this is how my text box is looking. Let me select all texts and make it bold. And under Home tab, I center my text and increase font size to something like 16. And I can resize my text box like this. Right. Now let me keep formatting it. I select it again, go back to Shape Format, and let me increase the weight of the outline like that. You see? This blue color creates a calm thinking space. Now this text box encourages the reader to pause and think before clicking. You see? Now let's add a warning. I go to Insert tab again, click on it, and then Shapes. Now Word offers many shapes, including rectangles, circles, arrows, and flowchart shapes. For now, I choose a rounded rectangle. This one. Now after choosing, I draw it to the right of the text box, like this. You see? Then I click inside it and type "do not click suspicious links." Like that. Now the warnings stand out clearly. We are not adding a shape for decoration. We are using it to emphasize an important message. Now let's format this shape. First, I click the shape, go to Shape Format, and in Shape Fill, I'll choose a light orange color, like this one. And in Shape Outline, I'll choose orange color, this one. And let me increase the weight of the outline a little bit, like that. And let me select all texts and change it to black. Go back to Home tab, make it bold, and add font size to something like 16, like that. You see? Now it looks like a caution box. Visible, clear, and professional. You see? Now I want to connect the question to the warning. The reader should see, can I trust this link? Then move to do not click suspicious links. Now to guide that movement, I will insert an arrow. So I go to Insert tab again, then Shapes, and I choose an arrow, this one. Click. After that, I draw it between the text box and the warning shape, right here. Draw it carefully, and then release my mouse. An arrow is more than a line. It gives direction. It tells the reader where to look next. Now let's format this arrow a little bit. First, I click on it. I go to Shape Format, and then in Shape Outline, I choose orange. And then I can add its weight a little bit. A little bit more. Yeah, like that. Now the question, the arrow, and the warning work together as one visual message. Now look at the document. Originally, the information was only in paragraphs. Now the questions stand out. The warnings stand out. And the arrow guides the reader from one idea to the next. Now this is not decoration. It is communication. You can use these tools in school notices, church programs, business flyers, reports, and teaching materials. Good documents do not only tell, they also show. I keep repeating this statement because it's very important. Good documents do not only tell, they also show. So in this section, we learned that shapes and text boxes help ideas become visible. We inserted a text box for an important question. We inserted a rounded rectangle for a warning. We used the shape fill and shape outline to format them. And we added an arrow to guide the reader's eyes. Now let me ask you this. Where are you watching from? Please write your country in the comment section. I would love to know where you are learning Microsoft Word from. And if this lesson is helping you, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Athanas Inspires. Now let's move to another visual tool called WordArt. Now let's look at another visual tool in Microsoft Word, WordArt. WordArt is used to make short text stand out. But listen carefully. WordArt is not for every sentence. It is not for every heading. And it is not for decorating the whole page. WordArt is for emphasis. Normal text is for reading, but WordArt is for attracting attention. So remember this line. WordArt should attract attention, not steal attention. WordArt should attract attention, not steal attention. Now let's see it in our Internet Safety Information Sheet. Now here is our document. Now I want to add a short slogan under the title. The slogan is, "Stay safe online." This is short, clear, and connected to the message of this document. Now to insert WordArt, I go to Insert tab and I look for WordArt. This one here. You see it? Now before I click on it, let me press Enter here to create a space for it. Then I click on WordArt. And I choose a clean style like this one here. Click. Good. The WordArt is now on the page. You see? Now let me move it a little bit. And then I click inside and delete all these texts. And I type "Stay safe online." Like that. You see? Now let me select all texts and decrease the font size a little bit, like that, and make sure it is properly under our heading, like that. Now under the title, it works like a slogan. You see? The title tells the reader what the document is. The WordArt attracts attention and gives the document energy. It gives the whole document energy. Can you see that? That is a good use of WordArt. Now here we are not trying to impress the page. We are trying to help the reader. Remember, if everything is special, nothing is special. If everything becomes special, then nothing is special. Now you can use WordArt in many real-life documents. A certificate title, a church event poster, a school notice, a business flyer, a teaching chart, a campaign message. But use it for short, important text. A professional document knows when to speak loudly and when to speak calmly. A professional document knows when to speak loudly and when to speak calmly. WordArt is the louder voice, so use it only when the message truly needs attention. So in this section, we learned that WordArt helps short text stand out. But the most important lesson is this. WordArt should attract attention, not steal attention. Now, if this lesson is helping you, please share this video with someone and subscribe to Athanas Inspires. We are moving step by step from ordinary documents to documents that communicate clearly and professionally. Now let's keep moving. Now let's look at something small but very important in Microsoft Word: symbols and equations. Sometimes normal typing is not enough. If you are preparing mathematics notes, science work, a school assignment, teaching material, or a professional report, you may need special symbols, small raised numbers, small lowered numbers, or proper equations. And don't worry, this is not a mathematics lesson. We are simply learning how Word helps us write these things neatly and professionally. Now down here I have a short practice file called Writing Symbols and Equations in Word. It already has 4 parts: mathematical symbols, superscript, subscript, and equation. We will work through them briefly. First, let's look at mathematical symbols. Now the document shows these symbols. We have pi, multiplication across, division, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. These are just examples. Now these symbols are not always easy to type from the keyboard, so we insert them. We have to insert them. Now let me show you this. I first go to Insert tab, then I click on Symbol. This one here. Let me click. Now here I can see the most recent used symbols. If I don't see the symbol I want here, I just click on More Symbols. Let me click. Now here Word show a list of symbols which I can scroll and choose any symbol that I want. You see? There's a lot of symbols here. You see? Now here let me choose this symbol, greater than or equal to. Click. Now after choosing it, I click on insert and the symbol is here. You see? After inserting the symbol, I can click on close and the symbol is now in the document. You see? Now let me insert another symbol by clicking on symbol up here and then more symbols. Now let me insert a division symbol. After clicking on it, I click on insert, then close, and the symbol is in my document right now. You see? Now these symbols help mathematical writing look clearer and more professional. They help mathematical writing look clearer and more professional. Sometimes one symbol communicates more quickly than a sentence. Now let's look at superscript. Here we have examples before formatting M2 and X2. In mathematics, the 2 should go up. So I select only the number 2. Then I go to Home tab up here and then click on Superscript. You see this one here? Now let me click. And now it becomes M squared. You see? Now I do the same for X2. I select number 2 and then click on superscript. And now it becomes X squared. You see? Superscript sends small text upward. We use it for powers, squares, cubes, and measurements like square meters. Remember, superscript goes up. Now let's look at subscripts. Here we have H2O and CO2. These are science examples. The number 2 should go down. So I select only the number 2 in H2O. Then I go to Home tab again. Then I click Subscript. This one here. Let me click. Now it becomes H2O with number 2 sent downward. You see? The chemical formula for water. Now I do the same in CO2. I select number 2 itself and then click on subscript and it becomes CO2 with 2 sent downward. The chemical formula for carbon dioxide. You see? Subscript sends small text downward. So remember, superscript goes up, but subscript goes down. Now let's look at equation part. Here we have speed equals distance divided by time. Now we can type it like this and people may understand it. But if we want it to be more professional, we can use the equation tool. Now let me press enter and I go to Insert tab. Then I look for equation. It is up here and I click on it. Now as soon as I click on it, Word gives me a space to write an equation properly. You see this space here? So inside I type speed equals. Now I go back up here and look for fraction. You see this one here? Then I click on it and I choose stacked fraction. This one here. Now let me click. Now I come here and click on numerator part and type distance. And I click on denominator part and type time. You see? Now look at the difference. Speed equals distance divided by time, typed like this. And speed equals distance divided by time, typed like this. Now the formula is clear. The fraction is easier to understand. And the document looks more professional. Now equations help us express relationships clearly. You don't need to fear equations. Word is simply helping you write them in a better form. So in this section, we learned how to insert mathematical symbols, use superscript, use subscript, and write simple equations. Remember, symbols help us write special meaning quickly. Superscript goes up, subscript goes down. And equations help us express relationships clearly. So if you know a student, teacher, or a friend who struggles to write symbols and equations in Word, please share this video with them and subscribe to Athanas Inspires. And now we are ready for the main project. In the next section, we will build a complete visual document from scratch. Let's get into it. Now we have reached the main project. This is where everything we have learned comes together. We have learned the pictures, wrap text, shapes, text boxes, WordArt, symbols, and equations. But remember, knowing the tools one by one is not enough. A real skill is knowing how to combine them into one clear document. So now, we are going to start a blank page and build a complete visual document in Microsoft Word. Now let me open Word from my desktop. right? Word is open. And our example will be internet safety guide example. We are going to build this slowly, not as decoration, not as confusion, but as a visual document where every part has a purpose. Now remember our rule. Every visual must earn its space. If it does not help the reader understand better, it should not be there. So let's begin. This blank page may look empty, but don't fear it. Every good document starts from a blank page. The page is simply waiting for direction. First, I will type the main title, Creating a Visual Document in Microsoft Word. Alright, let me select my heading, go to Home tab, and give it a heading 1, make it bold, yeah, it's bold already, and increase font up to something like 22, and let me center it like that. Now my title is ready. Now the title is important because it tells the reader what the document is all about. A clear title is like the front door of a document. It tells the reader where they are entering. Now under the title, I will type the subtitle, Internet Safety Guide Example. So I'll press enter and I type Internet Safety Guide Example. Now this subtitle tells us example we are using. The main title shows the word skill we are learning, and the subtitle shows the topic we are using to practice that skill. Now let me select all text of my subtitle and go to Home tab. I center it and increase font up to something like 11.5. Yeah, like that. I can increase font size a little bit. Yeah. My subtitle is ready. Now here you can see the main title is stronger and the subtitle supports it. Now let's add WordArt. I will use WordArt for a short message that says, "Stay safe online." So I go to Insert tab, then I choose WordArt and I select simple style like this one, click, and here I type "Stay safe online." Alright, let me select all texts and give it a font of 20. Yeah, like that. And I move it just below the subtitle. Yeah, like that. You see? Now this is important. WordArt should attract attention, not steal attention. We are just using it to make the message memorable, not to make the page noisy. Now I will add the introduction. I will double click just below the WordArt and let me type the introduction quickly. Right, I'm done. This introduction is short, but it does two things. It explains that we are creating a visual Word document, and it also introduces internet safety for beginner computer users. You see? This document is an example of how Microsoft Word can use words and visuals together. It shares simple internet safety tips for beginner computer users. You see? Now I select all text of my introduction and give it a font size of 14. Yeah, like that. Now we are ready to add a picture. The picture will show a beginner using a laptop safely. And the picture will support the topic because the document is about computer use and internet safety. So I click near the introduction area. I go to Insert tab, then Pictures. Now here is our image. I select it and click on Insert. Now the image is inside our document. You see? If it appears too large, that is normal. Nothing is wrong. The picture simply needs control. So I click the picture, then I resize it using the corner handles, like this. You see? Little bit smaller. Yeah, like that. Now I want the picture to sit nicely at the right side of our introduction. But for that, I need wrap text. So I click the picture. I go to Picture Format. I choose Wrap Text. And for this document, I will choose Square. Now I can move the picture more freely and the text can stay readable. You see? Now I will place the picture right here. Yeah, like that. All right. Now look at the page. The picture is helping the message. It is not fighting the text. And this is what we want: pictures and words working together. Remember, where you place a picture is often more important than the picture itself. You remember that? Now let's create the first section. Here I will press Enter and I will type number 1. Be careful what you click. Like that. Now I select my text make it bold, and font color I'll choose blue, like that. Now this first point is about links and downloads. And here I will press enter and then backspace 3 times. I remove the bold and make sure the text is back to black. And here I will type this text quickly. Alright, I'm done. Now this is simple but very important for beginners. Many online problems begin with one careless click. So this section teaches the reader to pause and check first. You see? Now let's add a text box. The text box say, think before you click. And this message supports the first section. So I go to Insert tab and then I choose Text Box and pick the first simple text box, and inside it I will type think before you click. Alright, let me move it down a little bit. Select the text, make it bold, give it a font of 14, like 14.5, like that. I resize it. Also, let me center the text, just resizing it a little bit more. Alright, then I select the text box, go to Shape Format, and under Shape Fill, I will give it a little bit of green color, like that, and Shape Outline, I will give it a darker green, yeah, like this. And also let me increase the weight of the outline to something like 1.5 points. Resize it a little bit more. Yeah, like that. And let me place it to the right of our section, somewhere here. Yeah. You see? Now the purpose of this text box is to highlight a short reminder. This is what text boxes do well. They help important ideas become visible. Now let's add a warning shape. The warning will say, unknown links can lead to danger. This warning belongs under the first section because it supports the idea of clicking carefully. So I go to Insert tab again, then Shapes, and here I choose a rounded rectangle. Click on it and draw it just below this section. And inside it I will type, unknown links can lead to danger. Like that. Now let's format it. I select the text, make it bold, give it a font size of 13.5, yeah, like that. Then I resize it a little bit and I make sure it's selected. I go to shape format and under the shape fill I will give it a lighter orange color. Yeah, this one. And under shape outline I will choose a darker orange and let's increase its weight a little bit. Yeah, like that. You see? I can resize it a little bit and put it to the center. Yeah. You see something is coming up. Now this shape is not a decoration. It is helping the reader notice an important warning. Remember, every visual must earn its space. Now we move to the second section. I will double click just below this shape and here I will type number 2, use strong passwords. Then I will select the text, make it bold, give it the same color, blue, and then here I will press enter, then backspace 3 times, remove the bold, and make sure the font color is black. And here let me type this text quickly. Right, I'm done. This section teaches the reader what makes a password stronger. A strong password makes your account harder to guess. Mix letters, numbers, and symbols for better protection. You see? Now let's add a simple equation. Remember, equations are not only for difficult mathematics. Sometimes a simple equation can summarize an idea clearly. So here I will press enter, then I go to Insert tab, then I choose Equation, and here I will type strong password equals letters plus numbers plus symbols. You see? And here let me select all texts and I make it bold under Home tab. Give it a font of 12. And change its color to something like blue, low contrast, this one. You see? This equation supports the password section. It helps the reader remember the idea quickly. That a strong password is not just one simple word. it should include letters, numbers, and symbols. And this is why equations are useful. They help us express relationships clearly. Now we can move to the third section. And down here I type number 3. Do not share private information. And here I select the text again and give it the same color, this blue good contrast, and then I press enter, backspace 3 times, remove the bold, font color back to black, and here let me type the text below it quickly. Yeah, I'm done. This is another important message for beginners. That online safety is not only about passwords. It is also about protecting private information. Now this section says, personal information can be misused online. Keep your passwords, location, and private information safe. You see? Now let's add the checklist. Here I press enter, and down here I type quick set checklist. And here I will hold shift and press enter because I need everything to stay on one paragraph. And in this checklist, we are going to use symbols. So I go to Insert tab, click on Symbol, and let me insert this check mark. And then I will type Use Strong Passwords. And I hold Shift key and press Enter. And I insert the same symbol, the check mark, and here I will type ask for help when unsure. Hold the shift, press enter again, then I insert the same symbol, and here I type check links before clicking. Hold the shift, press enter again, and let me insert a different symbol here. Let me insert this cross symbol. After inserting, I will type do not share passwords. Hold the shift, press enter again, and I insert the same symbol, and here I will type do not open unknown links. Do the same, insert the same symbol, and finally I will type do not share your private information. Yeah, now let me format this checklist quickly. I select this subheading, I make it bold, and I give it something like green color. Yeah, this one. And also I select this check mark and I hold the Control on my keyboard and select all the rest. I make them bold and give them a color like lighter green, And I do the same here. I select the first cross symbol, hold Ctrl on my button and select the rest, make them bold and give them a red color. Yeah, like that. You see? Now this checklist helps the reader scan the main actions quickly. You see? It helps the reader scan the main points quickly. Look at it carefully here. The check marks shows what the reader should do, and the cross marks show what the reader should avoid. You see? This is why symbols are powerful. Sometimes one symbol communicates more quickly than a sentence. Now let's add the conclusion box. A good document should not just stop suddenly. It should close the message clearly. So I will create a rounded rectangle near the bottom of this page. So here I will press enter. I go to Insert tab. I choose Shapes. Then I select this rounded rectangle and I draw it just below the document here. And inside it I will type, online safety begins with careful choices. Click wisely, protect passwords, and keep private details safe. Now let me type it. Alright, I'm done. Now let me select the text, give it a font of something like 10.5, and let me select the shape, go to shape format, and in shape fill, I will give it a lighter green color, this one, 40%. And in shape outline, I will give it a darker green color, like this. And let me increase its weight a little bit, like that. And I place it just between the document. Resize it a little bit. Yeah, like that. Now this conclusion brings the whole document together. It reminds the reader of the three main ideas: click wisely, protect passwords, and keep private information safe. You see? Now let us review what we have built. You see? We started with a blank page. We added a clear title and subtitle. We used WordArt for a short visual message. We inserted a picture and controlled it using wrap text. We used normal paragraphs so the document remained readable. You see? We added text box to highlight important reminder. We used the shape to show a warning. We used an equation to summarize password strength. And we use the symbols to create a quick checklist. You see? And we ended with a conclusion box down here. You see? Now look at the document carefully. You see how it looks? Visuals in Microsoft Word. This document does not only tell the message, it also shows the message. This document does not only tell the message, it also uses visuals to show the message. You see? That is the purpose of session 3. Good documents do not only tell, they also show. And notice something important. We did not add visuals just to fill the page. The picture supports the topic. The text box highlights the main reminder. The shape shows a warning. The equation summarizes an idea. The symbols makes the checklist easy to scan. The conclusion box closes the message clearly. Now this is visual communication. You see? Before you add any visual, remember triple P: purpose, placement, professionalism. Hope you remember that. Now let me encourage you. If your first document does not look exactly like mine, don't panic. That is normal. You are learning how to control the page. Your picture may move. Your text box may need adjustment. Your shape may look too big at first. But that does not mean you are failing. It means you are learning. Microsoft Word is not fighting you. It is waiting for direction. And every time you practice, your control becomes better. So after watching this, try to create your own visual document. It can be a school notice, a church program, a business document, a teaching guide, a report, a certificate, or any document that needs to communicate clearly. The tools are the same. The purpose is what changes. And if this step-by-step way of learning is helping you, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Athanas Inspires. And in the comments, tell me, what kind of visual document do you want to create in Microsoft Word? Is it a certificate, a notice, a report, a school guide, a business document, your personal file? Just write it in the comments. I would love to know what you are building. And now that we have completed the main project, let's look at where this learning journey can take you next. And now that we have built a complete visual document, let's pause and look at the journey ahead. In this session, you learned how to use visuals in Microsoft Word with purpose. You learned the pictures, wrap text, shapes, text boxes, WordArt, symbols, and equations. But more importantly, you learned how to think visually. You learned that a document is not only a place for words. It is a place where ideas can be organized, shown, guided, and remembered. This skill can help you create better schoolwork, reports, business notices, church programs, teaching materials, and professional documents. And this is not the end of your Microsoft Word journey. It is another strong step. In the next sessions, we will continue building the skills that help you create even more complete, clean, and professional documents. So keep practicing. Open Word. Try the tools. Make mistakes. Fix them. Improve slowly. You do not need to know everything today. You only need to keep moving forward. Now, let's close this session properly. And that brings us to the end of Microsoft Word Session 3. In Session 1, we learned how to type ideas. In Session 2, we learned how to organize ideas. In Session 3, we learned how to make ideas visible. You have learned how to use pictures. But remember, this Session 3 was not about adding more things to the page. It was about helping the page speak more clearly. Good documents do not only tell, they also show. So keep practicing and improve step by step. Now, if this session helped you, subscribe to Athanas Inspires and share this video with someone who wants to learn Microsoft Word. Thank you for learning with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next session. Bye-bye.